Hey, what's up, guys? Sandro Santowski. I'm giving you my UFC 275 Shera versus Prohaska final thoughts. Yeah, let's start out with the first fight, women's featherweight fight. Jocelyn Edwards against Ramona Pascual. Like I said, I just feel there's more better value with the underdog here. Pascual is the biggest girl. I can see Pascual landing takedowns. Edwards is the better striker. But I feel like this card, if you're gonna, like I said, if you're gonna get involved, it's kind of a good card for dogs. I would say Pascual plus 150. I would see some value in that if I really liked her and I really wanted to place a bet on her, which I don't. But I would have to only look towards that side. Can never lay, like I said, juice on the favorite, nor juice on a low level women's mixed martial arts fight. So. But my pick will be Pascual. Silvana Gomez-Juarez against Na Liang. A lot of money coming in on Liang here, and I do understand it. She is an Asian fighter, and she has a lot of first-round armbar finishes, and Gomez-Juarez has a lot of first-round armbar losses. So I get it. It's almost a pick 'em fight now. I'm still gonna side with Juarez here. I picked her earlier in the week on my prediction video. I'm gonna stay with her, but the money has definitely been coming in on Na Liang here. I understand it, and I'm looking forward to see how this fight plays out, guys. Ho Kang against Dana Bakaril. Again, a lot of money coming in on Ho Kang here, man. I sometimes I feel stupid for picking Dana Bakaril, but I'm going to side with this guy, man. The betting public does not like Becker. I like his style, but he throws everything into his punches, man. I don't think his ground game is that bad. I just don't really like the fact that Ho Kang was inactive for so long. He's coming off a loss over Ronnie Yaya himself. You know, split decision. He doesn't really get no defined wins, you know, but you can see he was out for a long time, guys. You know, he was out for 2 years. But yeah, I'm still going to side with Bakaril here. But the money has been pouring in on Ho Kang here. It's a pick 'em fight, too. Brennan Allen against Jacob Melcoon. I can understand why guys are taking Melcoon here. I'm not the biggest Allen believer myself. I mean, if Melcoon can get takedowns 2 out of the 3 rounds, it's his fight. I'm not sold on Brennan Allen, honestly, man. I do understand guys taking a shot on the bet on Melcoon here. I'm not, but I do understand it. I'm still going to side with Allen. Hopefully I don't start the card 0-4 with predictions, but if it is what it is. But my pick will be Allen. Ice here, Makashati against Steve Garcia. Again, I'm on the Garcia train here. That Mahashati, he was a popular underdog too. But more money is coming on Garcia here. But this guy is from one of the Contender Series, I believe. Yeah, so he is getting some love here from some of these guys. But it seems like more money has been coming in on Garcia here. We're not seeing as much underdog action as of late on Makashati. More on Ho Kang and Na Liang. And I understand it, guys. I understand it from all perspectives. Sungwoo Choi against Joshua Kubao. Again, my pick is Choi here. And Choi's been holding kind of steady right here. Minus 250. He's minus 220 now. I'm on the Choi side. I really like this guy's fighting style. And I think Kubao, he's been matched up with some tough fights in the UFC. Jack Della Maddalena against Ramazan Emeev. You know what? I was on Maddalena at Pick'em. He's minus 150. Feel like that's a sucker's bet right there if you're taking it minus 150. This might be one of those trap fights, man. And what I say is that Ramazan Emeev, he's a sneakily good fighter, man. He's 5-2 in the UFC. He's sitting at, you know, he's not a popular fighter. He's coming off a loss to Danny Roberts. Sitting at a plus 140 on 5 dimes, plus 135 in Bet Online. You know, this could be a fight that if Maddalena doesn't maybe get him out of there, get a tough dude in Emeev out of there. I mean, which I doubt he will. I mean, Emeev could very well win this fight by unanimous decision here. So, again, be careful if you're laying that chalk on Madalena, man. I think this might be the type of trap fight. Amiv isn't a bad fighter. Like I said, I'm on Madalena. I'm gonna side with him, but I see kind of this as the public, he's a public guy. Public's probably just pouring money on him because he's had some exciting finishes. Don't sleep on Amiv here. Like I said, I kind of look at this fight as a trap fight, as a pick-em. Okay, it's different. But man, minus 150, it's a complete pass. Kind of got to start looking at in Amiv's direction there. And I understand the people that are siding with Amiv. The smart side of me, the sharp side of me, would wants me to switch my pick to Amiv. But I'm going to side with Madalena here still. Jake Matthews against Andre Fialo, and it's kind of funny. Normally the Publix is kind of pounding Fialo in all of his fights, and we've seen nothing but money come against Fialo here. Money is kind of pouring in on the Aussie Jake Matthews, and that's kind of surprising to me. Maybe they just feel like Jake Matthews is the more well-rounded fighter. I'm not a big believer in him like that, man. I hate to say it. I used to be high on Jake Matthews, but I'm not anymore. I don't hate the guy either. I mean, the guy is a decent fighter. I do like the fact that he is on the UFC roster. But I am going to, side with Andre Fialo here. This guy is taking a lot of fights. I mean, you got to really wonder how much is he learning. How much is he improving in his 4 weeks of actual training? I mean, he just fought a month ago. So, I mean, he's cutting weight, putting weight on, cutting weight, trying to work on his conditioning. But, I mean, how much can you really get ready in a month's time? I'm going to side with Fialo here, man. But Jake Matthews isn't an easy test. If you like Fialo, that minus 130 looks good. I don't know who's taking Matthews at plus 110. I wouldn't. No value there in my opinion. But my pick will be Fialo. Wiley Zhang against Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Man, I like the fact that Jędrzejczyk was all up in her face. Yeah, Jędrzejczyk's been off a while, but the money has been coming in on Jędrzejczyk slowly but surely. The line has been going down on Wiley Zhang. Wiley Zhang's coming off 2 straight losses. You got to ask her where her head's at. And Joanna's been out 2 years, so you got to wonder where she's at, So, again, guys, I understand the money coming in on Joanna. My pick is Joanna. I'm going to say, hey, 3-round fight, maybe it benefits her. So, my pick will be Jędrzejczyk. Shevchenko against Taila Santos. Very interesting, guys. Boy, would this be interesting if this is the fight that Valentina loses her belt to. Taila Santos looks very calm and composed, man. I'm really impressed. The money has been coming in steadily on Taila Santos, man. I mean, I've kind of been looking at this line all week like, wow, man, this thing isn't budging, man. Normally we see Valentina minus 800, minus 1,000. It's sitting at minus 525, and that seems very cheap for a Valentina fight. Yeah, obviously, only a sucker would lay the minus 525, of course, guys. But, man, plus 450. What if Taila Santos is the woman to dethrone Valentina Shevchenko here? Boy, won't that be interesting. She has the looks for a female bantamweight. I mean, she looks good. She can be a star. I like Taila Santos, man. But, I mean, I'm still going to side with Valentina Shevchenko here. But we might start seeing a point very soon here, possibly starting today, that Valentina Shevchenko maybe isn't winning fights as dominantly, and maybe she does have a slip up here against Taila Santos. But man, I'm really interested to hear if anybody is really taking a shot on Taila Santos here. Props to you, man. You got mad balls. I respect it. I'm a big dog backer, and man, if you come out with some money here, man, I'll be really, very impressed, and I would love to hear about it. But my pick will be Shevchenko, obviously a no-bet situation. A fight that I will have money on is the main event between Glover Teixeira against Yuri Prohaska. And, it's the tale of a wild, dangerous striker in Yuri Prohaska. A guy that I like I said, I admire, man. I have fanfare for the guy as well. But he's only has 2 fights in the UFC, man. And I really think Reyes kind of had the guy knocked out a couple times. And Yuri just, Dominic Reyes just kind of, he couldn't get the finish in that moment, and Yuri kind of regained consciousness and took back over, and before he landed that spinning elbow knockout on Dominic Reyes, which was absolutely brutal. But Yuri has a nice one over Volkan Ozdemir as well. And I think Yuri is more dangerous in the first round here. But I feel like, man, I feel like this is one of those cautionary tales that we've seen time and time again. Beware if you count Glover Teixeira out of a fight. Glover Teixeira is the real deal. This guy's very well-rounded. He could take a beating. Don't know if I very much doubt that he can take some straight shots and some spinning attacks from Yuri. I think that would put him out. I really do. So I hope Glover is mobile. I hope his complete age hasn't set in and he's an immobile target. But Glover, I think, has a huge ground edge. I think the more the fight goes on, it's only going to favor Glover. It's Yuri early or bust for me, for Yuri backers. And I really like Glover here, man. You're giving me the defending reigning champion at underdog odds. I'm all over it, man. This is one of those fights that, yeah, age is a big factor, and that is the worrisome thing. Glover has taken a lot of damage over his career. Yuri's an upstart prospect. But I think the line, like I said, should be pick 'em or reversed here. I just don't understand how the challenger with a wild fighting style like Yuri is a minus 200 favorite over the defending champion in Glover Teixeira. I don't get it. I think the value's clearly on Glover here. If you like Yuri, I would completely pass on the fight. Like I said, I feel like it's a fool's bet if you're taking Yuri at these odds. I like Glover here, man. I think Glover's an old warhorse, and I think Glover continues to get the job done and possibly fights Jan Blachowicz again. Though I don't really know if Jan Blachowicz is worthy of fighting for the title again. I don't know. I don't know what Glover's plans are after this fight. I don't know how you really retire as the champ, but he might very well do it. So my pick will be Glover Teixeira here, guys. But these are my final thoughts on UFC 275.